It spent 3 months in UK customs, but it's finally here. Today we're taking a look at the Rlaarlo 1/14 scale carbon brushless buggy. I'm really surprised this thing even turned up. It spent so long in customs, but it is here. And before we take a closer look at the buggy itself, we do need to take a look at what we get in the box. Now we get a huge accessory kit, and this isn't the first time I've seen this. When I reviewed the 1/14 scale monster truck, I think that was a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago actually, that actually come with a huge accessory kit as well, and it's a really nice touch, and usually that's unheard of with cheap RC cars. You get a screwdriver, some spare body clips and a cross wrench, a USB charger and a 2800 mAh 2S, which is a decent capacity pack. An optional front bumper which can be fitted using the included screws, some spare suspension arms, hinge pins and bushings, a set of wheel hexes, some spare drive shaft components, and finally a black and white manual which is definitely worth a read if you're just starting out in the hobby. Now obviously including all these spare parts has made the price increase. Do you feel like you need all these optional extras in the box? Drop a comment down below and let me know. The transmitter that you get with these is decent. You've got a nice foam grip on the wheel. They take 3 AA batteries, you've got your steering trim, your steering dual rate and your throttle trim. Overall I'm not really a fan of these, and I do prefer the transmitters that you get with the WLTOYS. Back to the buggy then, and I have to say this thing is very high quality. It's definitely much higher quality than the likes of the WLTOYS 144001. Everything on it screams quality, but that does come at a premium. This is currently selling for $199, which is quite a bit more money than the WLTOYS 144001 and the 144010 brushless. But the one thing the WLTOYS range doesn't feature is carbon fibre components, so let's take a closer look at the buggy now. Before we do that, I do want to point out I really like the colour scheme on this body. I'm a massive fan of the purple, and you've got like the camo thing going on there. I think that looks really good. Now if you're not keen on this, Rlaarlo do sell a clear body if you want to paint your own. So we've got carbon fibre shock towers front and rear, a carbon chassis, carbon hinge pin holders, metal oil-filled shocks which feel really nice. We've got metal CVD drive shafts on the front, dog bones on the rear, adjustable turnbuckles, a very nice flexible rear wing. Finally the wheels and tyres. Now I think they look really good. I like the colour, I like the design. They do use quite a soft compound on the tyres, so they should be nice and grippy. Moving on to the electronics, we've got a 45 amp brushless ESC with cooling fan, a 3200 kV brushless motor, and a 1.7 kilogram free wire servo. And I do like the free wire servos because they are easy to upgrade. Now anyone thinking I'm going to get one of these and put crazy power through it, I'm going to upgrade the motor, fit a much larger sized motor, just be careful because you may need to use a different motor mount. These things aren't adjustable. The holes are actually fixed in place as well. Now the good news is you can use the motor mount from the 144001. Again, that isn't adjustable, but it will have the holes there if you want to fit a larger motor. Now Rlaarlo state this thing will do 49 miles per hour out the box on the included 2S, and if you use a 3S you should be able to reach speeds up to 55 miles per hour, which is quite impressive. Will it do it? We're going to find out later. Now before we do that, let's get the body back on and let's give it a quick rip on my favourite pump track. I should let go. Right, so first test of the carbon brushless buggy. Steering feels really sensitive on this. Handles well though. Yes. Zero cogging. Everything feels smooth. Nice amount of power as well on 2S. I think the deciding factor here is cost. I mean, this thing costs $199, which is probably one of the most expensive clones out there, clones of the LC racing range, because even the WLTOYS is a clone of the LC racing buggy. What a lot of Chinese companies do, they take a design that's well thought out and sells well. They then stick their own branding on it, you know, relabel it, and then sell it on. And we've seen so many clones out there, so many companies, you know, try to produce the best 1/14 scale buggy possible. It all started with the 144001, the WLTOYS, copying the LC Racing, and then after that, because that thing got so popular, everyone jumped on it and started producing brushless versions, upgraded versions, and now there are so many out there. Now the brushless version of the 144001, which is known as the 144010, is selling for about £60 cheaper than this buggy at the moment. Well, apart from all the carbon bits and all the extra accessories in the box, is it really worth that extra £60? I'm not entirely sure it is. Now don't get me wrong, it is a nice touch and it's definitely a selling point for Rlaarlo, but I think a lot of people out there who are looking for a budget RC car, you know, $199, you could potentially pick up a second-hand Armour or a Traxxas. Yes, admittedly one of the basic brushed models, but they are out there. So it does take it into that, you know, named brand territory, which is why I think it could potentially be a little bit cheaper. So it doesn't perform too bad off-road on the track here, but I really want to see how fast it actually is. So let's head out and let's see how fast it is at my speed run location. So let's do the 2S speed test first of all then. Now they say this will do 49 miles per hour. Let's see if it does. So let's see if we can hit that 49. Again, I'm not sure if we will. I think we're going to see mid-30s. We've seen a lot of companies make claims before about speeds. They are improving. I don't think this is going to be 49. Right, let's bring it back and see what we got. Right then, let's see what we got. We got 32. So not quite the promised speed, but let's see how it does on 3S. It definitely feels more lively on 3S. Are we going to see that 55 mile per hour claimed speed? Does feel quick. Right, let's bring it back and see what we got. 47. 47 is quite impressive. It may not be 55, but it's still impressive. So there we go then guys, that was the Rlaarlo 1/14 scale carbon brushless buggy. Now the biggest thing for me is the price. This thing costs $199, as I've said many times in this video, and that works out to be about £176. Now is it really worth the extra cost over the likes of the 144010, which is essentially exactly the same thing, minus the carbon components, the chassis, the hinge pin holders, and the shock towers and the accessory kit. You don't get a huge accessory kit with the WLTOYS, but you still get everything you need in the box to get you up and running. Is it really worth that extra £60? I'm not entirely sure it is, but drop a comment down below and let me know. I think if you're struggling to get hold of an LC Racing, or you've had your eye on an LC Racing model for a long time, definitely consider this, because when it comes to quality, this thing is definitely top of the range. Out of all the clones out there, I think this is probably the highest quality you can currently get that isn't an LC Racing. Parts are readily available for this thing, and because there's so many clones out there, so many copies, parts are literally everywhere. And again, a lot of the parts from the 144001 will actually fit this. I'm really glad this thing actually turned up because I was excited to see how it would perform. I did miss out on the speed run challenge. I know Rlaarlo did a worldwide speed run challenge to see who could get this thing as fast as possible. I don't think I would have hit the #1 spot, but I would have liked to have given it a go and see what place I could have actually achieved. Cheers for watching. See you again soon on the next one. Take care.